Bang! Neeves Knives, I'm Jared, and today we are checking out some new knives from BESTECHMAN and from Bestech. So BESTECHMAN is Bestech's more affordable line. For an example, this one, beautiful knife, aluminum handle. You know, it feels like a very high quality knife, but it's using D2 steel, which is still a good steel, but it is affordable. In 2025, you know, it would be considered, a budget steel, but it is actually a much higher performer than the price tag would, reflect. It has really good edge retention. The one downside is the corrosion resistance, but in this case it is coated. So we have a coated, very, very slicey sheep's foot style blade. This style blade shape, especially with this type of taper in the nose, is really good for utility cuts. The handle, again, solid aluminum, no liners on the inside, feels very rigid, and it is a button lock. Great detent on this one. The thumb studs are very well placed. You have a nice chamfer right there to get to the access to the thumb studs, so really well done there. And then you have the hole deployment for the reverse flick that you can use as well. Deep carry clip inset with flat screws and reversible with TA hardware all the way around. It's a great budget knife, it really is. Stop pin placement, not in the way, so there's nothing in the way, and you have a beautiful plunge grind. This is nearly a perfect knife for on a budget. Up and down, ever so slightly. Let me lock it up a couple times. Button locks sometimes have to break in. Yeah, it's so little, it's so minimal. It'll probably go away. Button locks tend to get stronger over time if they're done right. And this one feels pretty good. So yeah, I'm happy about it. I really have no complaints on this. The only thing I could say is, I'm not a fan of these holes. And other than that, I mean, it's kind of cool. The clip as, I don't know if that's a logo or what, but yeah, the holes are the one thing I would take away. And yeah, I guess that's about it, man. It's really cool. I'm not sure the exact price, but I know since it's from BESTECHMAN, it's very, very affordable. Let's get to the next one. Now, the next one is another one from BESTECHMAN. And I do have to say, I originally beat this knife up with the original one that I had, which was in G10 scales. Now, this one has an acrylic set of scales. What are they calling this set of scales? I'm not sure if it says, no. But this is the Cicada wing, by the way. The BESTECHMAN Cicada wing. And what I beat it up for originally was this stop pin placement because it was hitting right behind the edge. They did move that. It has definitely moved back way further than it originally was. Sorry if my hands are a little dirty. I was just sharpening. But I also found out, though, after sharpening it, like all the way out, it didn't affect it because the crossbar was actually also part of the stop. So it's not going to affect it at all. Now, this one has really good action. The thumb studs are placed very well. 10 CR, 15 MOV steel is a good steel. You can think of it as like an AUS 10 or AUS 10 or VG10. The thing is, this knife is very, very lightweight, like almost too light. I don't know if a knife can be too light because the scales are, yep, they are solid acrylic. There's only a little tiny liner right there. So it is very forward heavy, as you can see. Not that that's a bad thing, but I'm just, letting you know what it is. So I'm personally, I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of acrylic scales. They look cheap to me. It looks gas station-y to me. That's me. Other people might really like it. It kind of looks like marble or something like that. I'm personally not a fan. It's almost translucent with some sparkles in it. It's not really for me personally. The clip is inset with flat screws and reversible, which is cool, but we do see T6s all the way around except for on the pivot. And one of my biggest issues with this knife is the detent from the crossbar. While it has really good action, it thwacks out there really good. The first little tiny bit from here to here is so soft. Like if I just barely shake it, you can see the tip is, not sure if you see it when I'm doing it that fast, but I'll slow it down for you. So it has just a little tiny bounce, and it's so It takes very, very little effort. Like if you knew how little I am shaking it right now to create that, like it's like nothing. So that is a little bit of a problem for me because granted, if it's in your pocket, it's gonna be pushed against your seam of your pocket, so it should not pop out. But if you have it placed anywhere else and you are bouncing around, it could theoretically open itself up. So a real big deal? No, but it is something to note. All in all, this is a very affordable knife once again, and it has a good steel. It has a great shape, great action, good ergonomics, and can potentially be a great user for somebody. Next one is the Bestech Mothus. Now, the Bestech Mothus is using a crossbar lock, and because this one's Bestech and not BESTECHMAN, it does come with extra Omega springs. The other ones did not. So this one has a beautiful drop point blade with blue G10, and it does have liners and a lot of milling on there. The liners are inset on the inside. The clip is inset with flat screws and reversible. TA hardware all the way around. Love to see that. And this uses a thumb disc. So you have the thumb disc with nice texturing around the edge for a little bit of grip. Now this knife, before we go further on this, it reminds me a lot of the Prydwen from Bestech. This is a very premium knife. This one will be considered still more affordable. This is a premium knife with M39, oh sorry, this one's MagnaCut, my fault. MagnaCut steel, even better, MagnaCut steel, titanium frame, my beautiful titanium mill clip, great access to the lock bar, super good front flipper. Very good. This is very fidget friendly and well-placed thumb disc. So this one just, it kind of reminds me of it. I know they're not the same, but it just does. So figured I would bring it up because this one is a really, really cool piece. And while you can't reverse the clip, it is one that's really easy to use left-handed. But anyways, this guy though, going back to the Mothus, the blade steel is 14C28N, and you can see it's a combo design. The clip kind of reminds me of, actually reminds me a lot of Dagger. That's interesting. Anyways, crossbar lock, good detent. Well, decent detent, not strong or nothing, but it's good. One complaint is, man, thumb discs, they have to be placed perfectly, and this one has good placement, but I just wish that the scales were tapered right here, kind of like how they did on this one, where you put that little wedge right there. You know, so you can basically have room to go down to the disc. I wish that was like that right here. They have it a little bit right there, but it needs it a little bit more. I can see that it did try to do it right here, and it does work sliding right up it, but I think it just needs a little bit more and then a little bit more texture. The grip is great for the reverse flick when your finger's hitting it in the right part, but when I go to fire straight up, I slide sometimes. Granted, once you know about it, you're not going to, you know, so that is a very small nitpick. You see right there, I did it. Very good ergonomics, great pinch grip, great blade shape. This would be a great user. Let's check the lockup. Same thing like the other one. It is still pretty solid, or very solid. Crossbar locks are very strong, but I do have an ever so tiny bit. Oh no, there it goes. It went away. I just had a spine whack at one time. Okay, cool. So now it's rock solid. So that's the way it is, locks, especially with new knives. Open and close them a bunch of times. That'll usually engage them a little bit stronger. Beautiful plunge grind and choil area. Let's see, stop pin placement. Good. So yeah, man, this is a cool one. And this one does come in a bunch of different color options. It's going to be a nice deep carry. So, you know, nobody's going to really see anything except for, you know, maybe that much out of the pocket, just that little nub. So very discreet and nice and slicey while also not being a weak blade. You got the thumb disc that makes a nice placement for your thumb. Great for, you know, for tight squeezes, you know, when you're choking up. Man, this is a cool one. And yeah, so there you guys go. Just a quick look at 3 new knives from Bestech and BESTECHMAN. My favorite one, probably, honestly, is the first one we checked out, this one. I really like this one. I think this one, they did a really good job on this one. And, you know, I'm happy about how they are doing their well, maybe not all, I don't want to speak to all of them, but it seems like they're improved on their button locks quite a bit from, you know, in the past. So sometimes it just takes a little while to get the lock geometry down. So hopefully that continues to be that way. Work hard, stay tough, till next time, peace.